I was pissed off when that 70s show was removed from Netflix. I mean, I own the entire series on DVD, but still, if you're a fan of that 70s show, Netflix actually ordered a 10 episode run of that 90s show. I'm as surprised as you are. I mean, I saw it trending earlier today, but I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, that 90s show is a thing. But just to kind of make a quick detour, don't forget that in early 2000, I think it was around 2002 to be exact, there was a short-lived That 80s show on on the Spinoff train, if you will. It was on NBC because that 70s show was so freaking popular. This show, I never even heard of it until like maybe a year or so ago. One of the YouTubers I follow did a video talking about that 80s show, and I'm like, wow, this completely went under my radar. It only lasted 13 episodes, and it was negatively received by a lot of people. So, yeah, here we go. Here's what we know about that 90 show. Sorry. And as somebody born in 91, I'm actually quite intrigued by this. So, Netflix has ordered a 10 episode run for that 90 show. Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp, aka Red and Kitty Foreman, are going to be in this series. It's 1995, and Leah Foreman, daughter of Eric and Donna, will be visiting her grandparents for the summer, where she bonds with a new generation of Point Place kids under the watchful eye of Kitty and the stern glare of Red. Let's see. It looks like a bunch of the original people behind the That 70s Show creation is going to be running this particular series. I'm going to leave a link to the Variety magazine article that I'm pulling this from so you can get all the details, because I'm not reading every single, hey, this director, executive producer. But let me just say that, Bonnie Turner, Terry Turner, and their daughter Lindsay Turner are on board as writers and executive producers because Bonnie and Terry were the original series creators. Actually looks like Smith and Rupp will also be executively producing in addition to starring in the show. So I always think that's cool when not only do you have the original creators of the show, but when you have main characters of a particular series or movie franchise have, some say in how things are produced, because it really does help with the authenticity of whatever show you're trying to make. And the article just goes into details about, the creation of that 70s show. It's how long it ran. 200 episodes, guys. That was 200 episodes. And they also go into detail about how on Netflix, this isn't the first time that 70s show characters or actors have found themselves in the same project. Masterson and Kutcher, Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher, who I don't believe Masterson will be involved in this series or make a cameo due to the fact of some sort of allegations made towards him in the recent past. I forgot the details, but I think he was found guilty. It's called The Ranch. I remember that show. I didn't watch it that much, but I do recall those two meeting up on there. And also Rupp, Smith, and Wilmer, aka Fez, he was on there too for a little bit. They made appearances. So yeah, I'm intrigued, kind of like The Game coming back for 10 episodes on Paramount Plus. I'm not opposed to watching 10 episodes of that 90s show. I guess that just goes to show how nowadays shows are just done differently, especially on streaming services. It's rare, not unheard of, but rare for shows to get more than like 10 episodes, just to kind of gauge the public in terms of, we're going to reboot this show, we're going to bring the show back, but here are 10 episodes. Let's see if the fish are biting, and if so, we'll give it a season 2. I mean, I feel like that's a good way of doing it because less is more. I'd rather watch 10 above average to good or great episodes to kind of catch people's attention than to have like 22 episodes with a bunch of fillers and whatnot. So let me know your thoughts. Are you a fan of that 70s show? I know I don't want to say I was. I mean, I still am. I just remember I don't think I really watched it all that much when it first aired, but I think maybe as the 2000s went on, as well as when I went to college, I really got into it more. Of course, I didn't really like the last season or two because at that point, what you had Eric, he left, and then that dude Randy showed up, and I didn't hate Randy per se, but I just don't like it when there's a long running series and then one of the main characters, I mean Eric was the main character, left the show to work on Spider-Man 3, and he gets replaced by someone. It's basically like, I know it's it's kind of like, the last season, or not even just the last season, but the last handful of episodes of Family Matters when Jo Marie Payton left as Harriet and she was replaced with another actress. It's like, at that point, don't even bother replacing that character. Let's just say they went on a business trip or visit family or something like that. It's like, you don't try to do that. It's just it's not going to work. But I love Red and Kitty because that 70s show is one of those shows where the parents weren't made to be idiots, unless you're talking about Donna's parents. But I just love it when the parents are actually involved in the stories and they're actually interesting. So with Red and Kitty kind of at the forefront of this new series, I think it's going to be pretty good. And I wouldn't be surprised if eventually maybe Eric and Donna show up at some point, if not other characters from the original show. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this particular video, article in this video. What are some of your favorite moments from that 70s show? Yeah, that would be pretty cool to talk about in the discussion. And if you actually did watch that 80s show when the time it was airing on the air, airing on NBC, what did you think of it? Did you think it was trash? Let's talk about it. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.